Good morning, Ulster County. Welcome, everyone, and thanks for being with us this morning. I'm John Burlingham, Chairman of the Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. At this time, we'd like to ask everyone to please stand and join us in the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. With the spring right around the corner, it's time to begin planning for the Chamber's biggest breakfast meeting of the year, our annual Peter B. Matthews Honorary Irish Person of the Year breakfast. Once again this year, we'll be featuring great live music, Irish music, all morning with the outstanding T. McCann Irish Band. The bagpipes and drums from the Ancient Order of the Hibernians will kick off the morning. We'll have a great hot and cold buffet, including the ever-popular and very tasty green orange juice. Then at the conclusion of the morning, we'll have the surprise naming of our 52nd Honorary Irish Person of the Year. By the way, this is our honoree from last year, Alini Lazul, from the Dietz Diner. Our sponsor is the Reese Group, famous for their collectible coffee cups and mugs, and they tell us they have something very special planned for the year. Advanced registration and advance payment is required to attend this chamber breakfast. Call the office to register at 845-338-5100 or go online to ulsterchamber.org. You're invited to join your fellow chamber members for our first networking mixer of 2022. This is our annual Mac Fitness Mixer that was originally scheduled for January. The new date is Thursday, April 28th from 5 to 7 p.m. This will be a great time to reestablish old relationships and build new ones. Enjoy complimentary food and drink, and don't miss this opportunity to see how Mac Fitness can help you get healthy in the year 2022. Trainers will be available to give tours and answer your questions. Our sponsor is the Bank of Greene County. The Bank of Greene County, yeah. There's no charge for this chamber members and prospective members to attend, but reservations are required. Mixers are open to chambers members 21 years of age or older. If you're ready to get back to traveling, the chamber has just the trip for you. As you know, the chamber has been offering discount travel trips to exciting destinations all around the world for more than a decade. We've taken travelers to Egypt, Costa Rica, Italy, just to name a few. Now we're offering an all-inclusive 9-day travel trip to Greece this coming November for only $3,249, including land and air. You'll have the chance to trace 5,000 years of Greek history, exploring some of the most breathtaking sites in the world. Each day we'll take trips on escorted buses with English-speaking guides. Leaving from and returning to the Canetta Beach Resort and Spa, located right on the Aegean Sea. To find out more about the great group discount travel trip, we invite you to attend a free informational meeting Monday, April 11th, starting at 5:30 p.m. at the Holiday Inn Express in Lake Katrine. There's no cost to attend, but please register first. The dates for the trip, November 4th through the 12th. You'll find more information on this trip on the Chamber website, ulsterchamber.org, or you can speak directly with Carol Ricken this morning, who is coordinating this trip, as well as our October trip to Morocco. And now with the rest of our program this morning, here's our president, Ward Todd.
Good morning, everyone. What a beautiful day. Yeah. Yesterday, even more gorgeous. Any of you who bottled some of that for future use, it was really nice. Thought of that as I was coming up here yesterday to set up. I said, gosh, this is it. Spring, we're here. No more snow. That's pretty much, we're done with that stuff now, right? Not so fast. Anyway, thanks for being here. We have a great program for you. Thank you to our county exec for being our guest speaker. It's great to see. We are the Ulster County Regional Chamber of Commerce. Good to see our good friend Mark Molinaro from Dutchess County Executive. So thanks for being here, Mark. Always a pleasure. The Chamber's got a really special group, at least we think anyway, that we formed a number of years ago to engage and involve younger segment of our population. The young Ulster professionals, the YUP, YUPs as we call them, have been doing some amazing work, getting involved in a lot of not-for-profits, working around cleaning streets, having great get-togethers and mixers. And we want to invite Pat Paulson to come up. He's currently the vice president of the YUP organization. He is a great guy, and he happens to be working for a wonderful company called Adams Ferricker Farms. And I want to give him a couple minutes to talk about what YUP is up to. Patrick, come on up for a couple minutes, would you?
Thanks, Ward and the Chamber. As Ward said, I'm Patrick Paulson. In addition to working at Adams, I am the Vice Chairman for Young Ulster Professionals. And right now, we're looking for board members. As Ward said, we're a community-minded organization. We help with the Kingston Queen Sweep. We do a highway cleanup. We help with a lot of local nonprofits like People's Place and Habitat for Humanity, as well as doing some mixers, kind of for younger-oriented individuals. And like I said, we're looking for board members. So if anybody that's available or interested, it's usually not that much of a commitment, but usually a couple hours a month. I don't know if it's up there, but it's youngulsterpros@gmail.com. We have a board meeting next month, although we have not set the date yet. So please email us, and anybody that's interested, get in contact with us. And thank you. Thank you again, Ward.
All right. Thank you, Pat. So yeah, doing great work. Anyone in the audience, we kind of cut it around 40, and I hear somebody's getting very close to that actual birth date soon. So if you or your employees are interested, it's a wonderful organization. It's been a busy couple of months already in 2022 for our crack membership team, our membership director, Jess Davis, and our ambassadors, and want to have Jess come up and welcome them to you this morning. So Jess, if you would, come on up.
Good morning, Ulster County. How wonderful to see a sold-out event. Look at all the beautiful faces in this room. Okay, so I'm here to announce our new members to you, and many of them are here with us today, so I'll let them tell you about what they do. We're going to start out with Chrissy's Cupcakes and Cookies, and they're out of Port Ewan. Chrissy is a longtime friend of mine, and when I was there last week delivering her welcome packet, I suggested that she create a Jess Delicious cookie. So while she talks about what she does, I'm going to sample this cookie. It's got caramel chunks in it, cashews, sea salt with a little drizzle of chocolate. So I'll let you know how that is. Go ahead, Chrissy, take that mic. Oh, she's going to pass it to Jeff, her husband.
She won't talk because she's very nervous. It's cool. My wife and I own and operate a business out of Port Ewan. We are currently not home for retail business, but we do solely on Facebook. So if any of you are interested, Chrissy's Cookies and Cupcakes, Facebook, and you can place your orders.
Look at this cookie.
That's a small one.
Look at the height on that. Delicious. I do recommend the Jess Delicious. I think this might be a keeper. Welcome to the chamber. Next, we have Diego's Taquero, which is located at 38 John Street in Uptown Kingston. Isaac could not be with us today. He informed me that he is not a morning person. And they serve street-style tacos in a really fun environment. So check out Diego's. Welcome them back. We have Stacy Becker here, a new member, not new to probably many of you, Gatoletto's Seafood Market. It's an eatery and a fresh fish market. I'll be heading there for a Jess Delicious. And Stacy, if you could just wave to everyone, I'll let you off the hook. She's a little intimidated by all of you. I told her you're all wonderful and friendly. Next, we have HRH Development, which is based out of Port Ewan, real estate development and investment. And Zach Gumpel is here today. So Zach, if you could tell everyone a little bit about HRH, we would love that.
Hey, good morning. My name is Zachary Gumpel, licensed real estate broker and owner of Hudson River Homes. We're a full-service real estate development company focusing on eco-friendly single-family homes in the Ulster County area. Our firm covers all aspects of development from land acquisition, entitlement, infrastructure, from design all the way through construction and sales. We source all our materials through local vendors, have strong relationships with local subcontractors, and have an emphasis on maintaining the environment around each and every one of our homes. To date, we've co-branded with companies like Sun Common, Inside Out, and Hudson Reality Capture, and we're always open for more brand partners. We welcome cooperation with local JV partners, whether they be landowners looking to list one of their parcels with one of our homes, or local folks placing private equity. Our vision is one of legacy, and we intend on providing outstanding customer service and an unmatched quality and product for many years to come. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome, Zach. We also want to welcome Sleep and Spas, which is located in the town of Ulster. I did not see Jim Morse. Jim, are you here? I don't want to miss you. Oh, yeah, he's sleeping. That's a good one, Tony Marmo. Those beds, they are comfy out there, those beds, and they have this massage chair to die for. We welcome Sleep and Spas. We also, I'm not sure if I saw Rob Leitner, but we also want to welcome Unison Learning Center. Rob, there you are. Community-based art center out of New Paltz. Tell us about Unison.
Hi, folks. Actually, just as a show of hands, if I may, because some people said they were intimidated. You guys don't scare me at all. How many people have been to Unison Arts?
Wow.
That's fantastic. Thank you. This is our 46th year in New Paltz, New York. We're on Mountain Rest Road. A lot of people have referred to us as the hippie place on the hill. That was the origins. And while we still maintain that spirit, a lot of changes are happening at Unison. We just got donated a stone building in New Paltz, a 1730 stone building that has a history of slavery on it, and we're going to be addressing that and putting that in some of our programming and some of our artwork. For those who don't know us, we are a performance space. We have a gallery, a sculpture garden. We do workshops and education outreach. I am the director of corporate outreach and events. We have a wonderful performance tomorrow evening from a young artist, emerging artist. I call her a future Grammy nominee. So if you don't have anything in your schedule and you've not been to Unison, or you have, come on back to Unison Arts tomorrow. We're starting a children's education outreach called Unison Arts Academy as well. That'll be starting in the spring. Everything's coming back for all of us because of COVID, of course. One thing I'm very proud of is an initiative I created called the Prejudice Project, which gives the opportunity for anyone who has experienced any kind of bigotry or racism or any kind of prejudice to videotape their experience, bring that to our archive, and then we're inviting the world of art to listen to that video and create artwork surrounding that. If you're interested in that, it's called the Prejudice Project, unisonarts.org/Prejudice Project, or for any of our work there. We have a new executive director, and we're looking forward to the next 50 years. Thank you.
Rob, thank you so much and welcome. Thank you to all of our new members that are here with us today. We hope to see you all at our April mixer. You can see probably a little bit bigger of a crowd. So if you're not yet a member of the Ulster Chamber, or if you know somebody that should be a member of the Ulster Chamber, all small businesses and organizations in the surrounding area, please connect me to them. You can shoot me an email at jess@ulsterchamber.org or give us a call at 338-5100. I think my work is done here, and I'm going to go finish. I don't know if I can do this whole cookie this early, but I'm getting another bite. Thank you so much.
Allison, could you help her with the cookie, please, while you're seated there? Thanks. Take one for the team, Allison. Come on. We're going to do door prizes in just a minute. I do want to advise everybody, we've got a bunch of these out in the hallway. If you did not get these yet, the Chamber membership guide is hot off the presses, thanks to our good friends at Color Page. And it's available at your place of work. If you'd like to take some with you, please do. A wonderful publication. Special thanks to all the advertisers who make it possible. We have birthdays, I think. Do we have any birthdays to announce, Carol or Ingrid? I know we've got one board member celebrating a birthday. Did Jennifer Fabiano come today? I think she was from Rondout. She's celebrating a birthday, I believe, this month. No, I don't see her. Birthdays? From our audience, Megan Bianco from CBPE. Congratulations, you're a winner. We've got a dinner gift certificate for two at Mariners Harbor, if you would. Congratulations. If you see Jennifer, yeah, her birthday was February the 1st. She's on our board, and she just celebrated a 10th anniversary at the bank, so that's really cool. How about some more door prizes? Jess, what do you have?
Give them the cards. We got lots.
All right. So these are what?
Chrissy's Cupcakes Cookies.
Chrissy's Cupcakes, looking real good.
We've got 2 winners.
Wanda Grinder from Serve Pro. Congratulations, Wanda. Alicia Hallam from Mid-Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union. Congratulations to you. Those look so good. And we've got Port Ewan Diner gift certificates. Really nice. Let's see who we have here from Ulster County Resource Recovery. Don't see a name. Oh, there is. Angelina Brandt. Congratulations to you, Angelina. We'll hold him for this, and that's that. And the other one is for Ellis Lader from WMC Health Physicians. Ellis, congratulations. Oh, 2 oil changes from our friends at Begla Motors in Kingston. Congratulations to our winners today. Alex Steer from Home Plate Deli and Caterers. And also Mary Rose Warholic from Ulster Savings Bank.
2 bottles of wine from the Italians.
From the Italian American Foundation, thank you, Tony Marmo, a red and a white. Stephanie Turco from Gateway Hudson Valley gets one of those. And Lisa Berger from Ulster County Alive gets the other. Wow.
This one.
From John Burlingham, American Solutions, take your lunch in style to work. That's a really great present, and we're glad to give that away to Charlie Whitaker at RRA. Congratulations, Charlie, Director of Operations and Safety.
To the card.
That's, yep.
Okay. For the big finale, we've got this one. I don't know if you want to do 1 or 2 winners, because this is like pretty just delicious.
We have all these too.
Yeah.
So Jess did a Jess Delicious episode at One and Only Cakes yesterday, and she made these cupcakes. Pretty cool. I understand there's like extra cream and stuff, right?
I did break a few rules. in the
Okay.
kitchen.
Stephen Casa from Ulster Boseys wins one of them. And Janet Rigaud from the County of Ulster. Janet, wonderful. Congratulations.
Okay, so we're doing 1.
Yep. And from our sponsor, Herzog's in the Kingston Plaza, we have some beautiful sweatshirts and some winter caps, which we'll only need for another week or so. God willing. And so we're going to leave them right there.
Oh, we are?
Oh, no, we could deliver them. I guess we can deliver them, right? So whoever card is chosen, that table wins. What a great idea. Dawn Spader, who is Director of Personnel for the County of Ulster. Where are you? Your table wins these beautiful... No, wait. Up, the hats. Those are next. She's not very good at following direction. And from Gateway Hudson Valley, Brian Schneider, their CFO. Your table, where are you? You get these beautiful sweatshirts from Herzog's. And so when you go in, they're going to think you like work there, and people will ask you questions, and you better know everything, because like Paul Gallo, you know everything, right? Everything. The answer man. So those are really nice. Julie, that was a great idea to give those away. Okay. Our county exec is coming up in just a minute, but it is time to thank our sponsors today, our good friends at the Kingston Plaza and Herzog's Home Center. They have always prioritized community first. They believe, right? They believe that we are so fortunate to live and work in a community that has passionately supported the Chamber's Shop Local message. As all of you know by now, right? Buying local has a rippling effect which stimulates our economy and benefits everybody in our region. As we all rise from this pandemic, Herzog's and the Plaza are more committed than ever to continuing their support to our community and also promoting the Chamber's Shop Local mantra. Kingston Plaza's open-air environment encourages locals and visitors to stroll the sidewalks and check out the great local businesses in the plaza, including, of course, Herzog's and others like Savona's Plaza Pizza and JK's Wines and Maria Cabrera Bridal. Good morning, Maria. And Mac Fitness and Chick's Restaurant and Sports Bar, Catskill Art and Office Supply, our good friends at Hudson River Technologies, Cornell Cooperative Extension, Kingston Physical Therapy and Sports Rehab, and Catskill Mountain Railroad, just to name a few. However, if you prefer to ride your bike, Kingston Plaza has recently installed covered bike racks for your safety and security. The plaza connects cyclists to the linear park and new parts of the Kingston Green Line. Herzog's is truly about the community. Whether we're battling a pandemic or the ice storm of the century, their doors are always open and their staff will give advice on the best products to solve your problems. As the days get warmer, Herzog's will be in full swing very soon with building supplies, lawn and garden tools, plants, flowers, mulch, and seeds, and of course, paint. Locally owned businesses are where neighbors shop together and dollars are cycled back into our community. And for decades now, Herzog's and the Kingston Plaza have faithfully been committed to giving back to our community. Over the years, their logos have been proudly displayed on t-shirts for local youth sports teams, community events, and a wide range of charitable organizations. They have been there for us for decades, and they will continue to make a positive impact. And we sincerely thank them for their sponsorship this morning. If you would now, please join me in thanking Herzog's and Kingston Plaza for being our sponsor this morning. Please welcome Julie Jordan. Thank you, Julie. Okay, all right.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Julie. So we are delighted to welcome our guest speaker this morning and thank him for being with us for his annual State of the County address. It's also our chance to recognize his leadership the past couple of years. We were, I think, so fortunate to be able to connect with him on numerous occasions so he could bring business leaders up to date on COVID relief programs and guidance and other important, even life-saving information. Today we get to hear about his vision and his sense of optimism for the coming year. And this morning also gives us a chance to congratulate Pat and his wife on the birth of their baby boy, Cameron John Ryan, joining older brother Theo now as the true bosses of the Ryan household. Please join me in giving a warm Chamber of Commerce welcome to Ulster County Executive Pat Ryan. Pat. I hope you don't mind. No. I couldn't resist.
Thanks, Ward. Good morning. Good morning. We've done a few of these breakfasts, and it's a little low energy this morning. So, can we get one more? A little more. We all need some energy, given what's happening in the world, given what's happening in our country. So I'm going to try one more time. Good morning, Ulster County Chamber of Commerce. Good morning. Thank you. I needed that. Because I'm not getting a lot of sleep, as you probably saw in that picture. And you might notice that picture, which is when I first started, I had a lot less gray hair than I currently have now. So it has been certainly an eventful 2.5 years that I've had the honor to serve in this position. And I think a really opportune moment to just reflect on a little bit on where we've been, but much more excited and optimistic to talk about where I think we're going. And, Ward, with all due respect, certainly not my vision. I think it's our vision of where the county's going, driven by a lot of what I talk with you all about and hear from you all about. So if you all watched online yesterday, you may hear a little bit of a repeat of the remarks I made, so I apologize in advance. But it's really an honor to be here with you all and share some perspective. So as you heard from Ward, the Ryan family 2022 started off with some excitement. We were expecting a little bit later of a due date, so Cameron arrived 12 days early, and we ended up spending New Year's Eve actually in the hospital, watching the ball drop from this little, actually from my phone, and trying to just process what that meant. And as I sat up that night, and it was my turn that night to try to rock him to sleep, I couldn't help think about what does it mean to bring a new life into the world at this moment. We've got a once-in-a-century pandemic that's taken almost 300 lives now in Ulster County, and almost 1 million in our country and millions across the world. We're all exhausted by that. We're exasperated by that. And increasingly, we're also seeing a country that is divided and just grappling with how do we hold this all together. And of course, this morning, We're all driving in, hearing the news of what's happening globally, and it just feels like there's a lot going on right now. It's almost a dizzying moment. But as I thought about Cameron, who's now 8 weeks old, I really reflected on the fact that I hope and I believe that both Theo, who's my 2.5-year-old, and Cameron won't have to remember the darkness of the moment that we're in right now. But what they will remember, and I think what will really matter to them greatly and to their generation, is how we move forward out of this moment. Whether we continue to kind of not wallow, but look down and sort of deal with the frustrations and the challenges, or we're able to lift our head up. It's clear we are at a major crossroads, and I've heard from so many of you, a lot of people in this room, parents and teachers and nurses and doctors and seniors and young people, that we've all reached our limit. We're tired and frustrated and just ready to move on. And believe me, I understand that deeply. And I agree. Because 2 years in, we now actually have highly effective tools, from vaccines and boosters to widely available testing, that empower us to shift our approach to this pandemic. COVID is probably going to be a part of our lives for at least another few months, or maybe even another few years, but we cannot let it continue to dominate our lives in the way that it has for the last 2 years. Now is the moment for us to move past the pandemic, and to do that together, and to focus our energy constructively, to actually lift our gaze out of that day-to-day and look ahead to what I believe is a very bright and a very optimistic future for our county, because all the challenges happening around us in the world and in the country and even in our state, Ulster County has been a beacon of a lot of great energy, and I think that's a big result of so many people in this room. 2.5 years ago, when I had less gray hair and I started this job, one of the first things I did was hold 20 town halls in 20 different towns in 20 weeks in every corner of our county. I really wanted to start the job doing something that I think government doesn't do particularly well, which is to listen. And shaped by those conversations, I outlined a set of 5 priority initiatives to move our county forward. Grow and diversify our economy, implement a Green New Deal in Ulster County, tackle the opioid epidemic, ensure justice for all of our residents, and build a more responsive and responsible government. I believe that work is even more urgent now, especially after what we saw during the pandemic. And so in 2022, we must and we will recommit to those transformative goals, to making ambitious, generational investments, so that in 20 years, when my son's generation and many people's here's children and grandchildren's generation is graduating high school, they'll not only be able, but they'll actually be excited to stay here, to find a good paying job here, to afford to live in a decent home here, to have clean air and water and soil here. The good news is that even in the midst of the challenges of the pandemic, we've already been making progress towards those goals. And today, ultimately, I am very proud to report that the state of our county is strong. We're across each of these initiatives, we're on track in some ahead of the schedule that we outlined, and delivering tangible and meaningful results to the people of Ulster County. During my very first town hall I held 2.5 years ago in Saugerties, one story really stuck with me from a mom whose son was struggling to find a job in the area. She said something like, "We haven't had good jobs here since IBM left." And I thought about my grandpa, who worked at IBM for 36 years and what that meant for him and my parents and our family. And then we surveyed our high school students back in 2019, and we asked them about their post-graduation plans. 85% of them said they were planning to leave after graduation. That is what we need to fix. That's why we outlined with many people in this room our Ulster 2040 strategy, to move us out of an old 20th century economy that was not working anymore for almost everybody, and into a 21st century economy that will actually lift us up and put us on the forefront of this sort of new economy that's coming. And what I'm very proud of is that we're already starting to see real momentum on a lot of those things. We've retaken control of the former IBM site, which has sat stagnant for my entire adult life. We've initiated a plan to invest $200 million plus, creating at least 1,000 new, good-paying jobs in film and TV, manufacturing, healthcare, and agriculture, and more. We've done the same in Ellenville, home to Elliot Auerbach and others in the room. I see you, Elliot. At the former Schrade site, which sat stagnant for almost 2 decades, attracting a nation-leading marijuana company that will invest over $200 million, create at least 400 good-paying jobs there. And throughout, we've continued to support many in this room who lead our small businesses. The backbone of our economy, over 90% of our businesses in the county, small businesses, in partnership with the Chamber, who's been phenomenal. Most recently, our team provided nearly $1 million in direct relief to 29 of our most awesome small businesses across the county, and we have another $3 million lined up that will be direct, no questions asked, no strings attached, relief and help for our businesses that have been just absolutely devastated during the pandemic. And looking ahead, Ulster County will be a place where people of all ages, but especially our young people, are excited to stay and grow and build their lives and their careers and their families, where we reactivate these big twin engines of our economy, our old economy in Kingston and Ellenville, that have sat stagnant for decades, and build a new economy that we can take pride in again here in Ulster County, where Oscar-winning films are going to be produced, nation-leading organic crops are grown, high-quality products are manufactured, and more, all by our residents. But last time I talked with you all, we talked about another issue that's tied to this economic development, because we know it's about more than just good-paying jobs. One of my very first town halls was out in Shandaken, and I heard from this young couple that talked about growing up in the area, leaving to go to get an education, and then eventually deciding they wanted to come back here. They both found jobs that they were really excited about, but they could not find a single home anywhere in the county that they could afford to buy. And that was before this unprecedented surge that we've seen in home prices, anywhere from 20 to 30 to over 40% in Ulster County just in the last few years. Each day, more and more and more of our residents, your family members, your staff, your kids and grandkids are under pressure when it comes to housing. 2 seniors I talked with this summer being priced out of their apartments in the town of Ulster. A single mom who told me she couldn't find a single apartment in the county and now drives over an hour each way to commute to work. And of course, thousands of our frontline workers, from delivery workers to childcare providers to ER nurses, who increasingly can't afford to live in the same community that they risk their lives to protect. I mean, how is that allowed? I'm excited about that. How is that allowed to happen? That's right. Sorry about that. I've only had 4 cups of coffee this morning. That's why in Ulster County we developed this ambitious housing action plan, and we're already taking aggressive action. Many of you know we're knocking down our old county jail on Golden Hill and building 160 apartments for seniors and working families in Kingston, working with Mayor Noble and his team, bringing back a site that has sat stagnant again for over a decade and creating much needed housing. We're also going to be partnering with RUPCO, Catholic Charities, and others to buy and retrofit a former hotel, the Quality Inn, just around on the other side of the traffic circle, creating over 80 units of supportive housing there, including childcare, mental health support, and a communal kitchen. And actually later this morning, you all are getting a sneak preview. Later this morning, along with Congressman Delgado, Senator Hinchy, Mayor Noble, and others, we're going to announce another major investment in desperately needed housing in our city. Many of you know Elizabeth Manor, one of the last remaining boarding houses in the county, suffered a fire. The county and the city and all of our partners are going to step up. And we are not going to allow this to be another casualty of the wave of gentrification that is pushing so many people out of the city of Kingston. So we're going to buy that. We're going to renovate it with community partners. We're going to bring it back online as housing for vulnerable people, especially families, who right now are often having to travel 20, 30 miles from hotels where they have to stay. And so I'm very proud that we'll be announcing that later today. As we work to build more good-paying jobs and affordable housing, we also can't lose sight of the fact that more people than ever, especially our young people, are struggling with mental health and addiction. One of the hardest conversations I've had since taking office was with a group of parents who lost children to the scourge of opioid addiction. And over the last 2 years, as we know, the pandemic has only exacerbated these twin epidemics of mental health crises and addiction, and really the intersection of the two. And we've seen, after some major progress, we've seen a resurgence of suicides and fatal overdoses and non-fatal overdoses. In the face of those challenges, though, I am optimistic, because I've seen our community rally around especially this problem, bringing renewed energy and innovative approaches to this challenge. For example, we've distributed over 3,500 Narcan kits in the midst of a pandemic, trained 4,000 residents in how to use them, and increased administrations of naloxone 22%. That's a big deal. Thanks, yeah. We've declared a public health emergency to address the deadly rise in fentanyl, focusing our efforts on aggressively targeting the gangs and drug dealers bringing this poison into our community. And we created an innovative high-risk mitigation team, which, in partnership with our great county sheriff, Juan Figueroa's Oracle team, we've already assisted over 300 residents, ensuring those struggling with addiction actually get care rather than incarceration. There's a lot of members of our county team here who I'm going to thank at the end, but I especially want to shout out Juanita Hotchkiss, who leads our opioid efforts and has been doing remarkable work. So please thank her on your way out. So we're beginning to see some signs of progress in that work, but we have a lot. This is the area where I'm most disappointed, frankly, in our progress. And so we have a lot more work to do. The good news is last year, Ulster County was part of a landmark national legal settlement to finally hold some of these companies accountable that have been pumping these drugs into our community for decades. Ulster County alone secured over $8 million that we can now put to work to bolster our already ongoing opioid prevention efforts. Additionally, we will begin a desperately needed reinvestment in our mental health services, which have been understaffed, underfunded, and undervalued in this county for far too long. This year, we'll reestablish a fully functioning mental health department, significantly bolster our county-level investment in direct mental health services, and become one of the first counties in the state, emulating County Executive Molinero's great initiative in Dutchess County, to build a crisis stabilization center, ensuring that any of our residents in need have 24/7 access in a moment of crisis of mental health and addiction and are not turned away. And I want to thank you, Mark. You've already had our team there. We're going to learn your lessons. And I also want to shout out Tara McDonald, who will be quarterbacking and has been quarterbacking all of our mental health work. So thank you, Tara, in advance for your continued hard work in that area. None of this critical work will matter, though, in my opinion, if the planet that we pass on to future generations is unlivable. In the last decade, we've experienced 4 of the 5 hottest summers in recorded history. Right here in Ulster County, we've witnessed firsthand these effects of climate change, from the roads and businesses and homes devastated during Sandy and Irene, to the severe weather that all of our farmers, Herb Litz included, in the room, will tell you have been devastating to our agriculture community. And then, of course, most recently, getting punched in the face, frankly, by an ice storm that none of us saw coming, that knocked out power for over half of our households for multiple days. And we've also heard a strong and I believe very righteous rallying cry from our young people, pushing me and all of us to take more urgent climate action. That's why last year we became the first county in the country to develop a localized Green New Deal plan, driving action from the ground up rather than expecting that we're going to have a top-down solution to a problem that is that paralyzing. We already actually last week put our first 3 electric buses on the road in Ulster County. We've launched and grown our Green Careers Academy with SUNY Ulster, and we've made solar accessible to all of our residents, homeowner or not, through our Solarize Ulster campaign. So if you're not part of that, please check that out. Ulster County has long been an environmental leader, recognized across the state and the country. Moving forward, we will redouble these efforts, investing to retrofit 15,000 homes by 2040, continuing to rapidly green our fleet to reduce our single highest source of greenhouse gas emissions, and ultimately achieving the aggressive goal I set during my first week in office, to transition our county to 100% renewable by 2030. I believe, though, that protecting our environment is not only a moral imperative, but our Green New Deal plan is designed to actually strengthen and bolster our economy, positioning Ulster as a national leader in one of the fastest growing parts of our economy, green and clean energy sectors, providing even more good paying and exciting jobs for our young people. When you zoom out and set aside the policy and the ideas and the programs, I believe government is at its best when we just take the time to meet people where they are and to actually listen to them. And then, crazy idea, to quickly deliver on what those needs are that they're asking for. To be connected and compassionate and competent. To make people's lives better. Yes, in big ways, but also in small ways. Just a few weeks ago, I had one of the most powerful conversations I've had since taking office with Amani Green. She's a 10th grader at Kingston High School. We were recognizing, and I see Lorraine here, along with the SUNY Ulster Foundation, we were recognizing Amani for her leadership and actually awarding her a scholarship to SUNY Ulster, which was really cool. And after doing that, she proudly told me about her plans to be the first in her family to graduate, to become a nurse, and eventually to become a surgeon. And then she looked me right in the eye, and she told me, I won't do it justice, but I'll try. She said she gets up every morning, she goes to school, and she works hard because she just trusts that if she puts in the work, she will succeed. We have thousands of people like Amani throughout our county. People who are determined, who work hard every single day for their families and for their goals. That is who we are working for in county government and as leaders in our community. That is who we need to continue to invest in. The state of our county is strong, not only because we're meeting the immediate needs of our residents at an unbelievably, and I believe unprecedented challenging moment of challenge, but also because we do have our eyes on the future. We're making these generational investments that will position Ulster County as a national leader, a beacon of growth and dynamism that is also committed to taking care of our most vulnerable residents. A community that we can all really, truly be proud of. And so it really is an honor to work with so many of you in building that vision and executing that vision. We have a lot more work to do to achieve that vision clearly, and we have a lot of challenges and factors and forces and headwinds that are going to make that extremely difficult. But as I look around this room and I see business leaders and community leaders, as I see, and I am going to embarrass and ask any members of Team Ulster County that are here, the quiet professionals behind the scenes that have been getting us through the pandemic and delivering services and running bus systems and plowing roads and delivering heap assistance to those without energy, without power, and so many other things. Please just stand up for a moment, and please everybody join me in thanking our Ulster County team who works so hard. And yes, Mark, they are better than the Dutchess County team. I feel comfortable saying that in this room right here at this moment. So thank you, team. I know I'm a tough boss. At least that's what I hear. But you guys make it easy, so thank you. Anyway, as I look around at our team and all of you, I feel boosted. I came in this morning and I was feeling pretty down with hearing the news of what's happening in Ukraine and thinking about all that might come there, and we don't know what's going to come. But we really can't control that in this room. We can worry about it. But what we can control is a lot of the things that I just talked about. And we can control our attitude and our mindset. And we can keep in mind the spirit that we had at the beginning of this pandemic of community, of taking care of each other, of remembering that we're only as good as how we treat the most vulnerable and the most needy among us. That is what is so awesome and makes me so proud of Ulster County, the community that brought me up. So let's continue to channel that. Let's be a beacon of positivity and hope and optimism at a moment and a place and a time of real challenge. And I know that we can do that. So thank you for having me, and belated Happy New Year to everybody. And if anybody wants to babysit, we have slots open around 1 to 2 a.m. every night. Thank you very much.
After we're going to take some questions from the audience, do we have anybody who would like to, this is your opportunity. Grill the county exec.
Mark's not allowed to ask questions.
I am Tom Polk of YMCA. I'm really intrigued by the $1.5 million nonprofit grant program you announced. Could you talk a little bit about it?
Yes, absolutely. It took us too long to do, I will admit, but thankfully our legislature just passed. This is part of the $34 million that we received in federal aid. And I want to thank Congressman Delgado for delivering that, and all the members of Congress who voted for that. That is a once-in-a-generation set of funds that we and local governments across the country received, and it's a real test of our values of what we're going to do with those kinds of funds. So we're doing a lot of things in mental health and housing and economic development, supporting our small businesses, but one of the things we wanted to make sure we did was help and lift up so many of our nonprofits and community organizations that were really the backbone of our COVID response, and many of whom really suffered greatly in a lot of ways to get through it. So that will be essentially a fund that any of our nonprofits can apply to and receive grants up to $50,000. Thank you, Chris. And so details are going to come out shortly on that process. We're going to try to make it as ungovernmenty as possible to apply for those and receive those. It won't be enough for everybody, clearly, but hopefully we can, try to go back to the well and find additional funds and resources for those that might need it. So that's just one of many priorities that we're putting to work with those COVID relief funds. The housing project that I mentioned that we'll announce later this morning, that's also funded with federal relief funds partially. The Quality Inn supportive housing project is also funded with rescue plan funds. So, that's another thing I'm proud of in the county, that with a sort of once in a lifetime set of dollars, we're really using that to lift people up that desperately need it right now.
Questions? Others? Rare opportunity. Here we go. Right over here.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Could you possibly elaborate on the status of the second round of the CARES Act funding for small businesses?
Yes. Another point where I would like to see that move a lot faster. We received the $34 million in federal relief about a year ago, and I put forth a plan just a few weeks after to use those funds quickly. And it has been moving a little slower than I would like, as you can sense. But I think we're close to getting that through our legislature. So feel free, anyone in the room, to call your legislator, encourage them to rapidly approve that plan. We have another several $1 million lined up. We put the first $1 million to, I think, very effective use. 29 of our different businesses, from restaurants to retail to hospitality and lots of others, including delicious ice cream at Alleyway Ice Cream, which I got to sample. That was not an accident that that's the one I chose to visit. So the status is we need to move it more quickly. I mean, I think it was today's Freeman front page, another one of our restaurants in Uptown Kingston succumbing to the pressures of the pandemic. And they tried to open in the midst of the pandemic, which I give them great credit for. So it is urgent that we get these funds out, and you all in this room know that. So please continue to encourage, and I will certainly do the same. Hopefully that answers your question.
Questions for Pat? Yes, Lorraine.
Hi, Pat. I know it's supposed to be questions and not statements, but I just want to support all of your work for the homeless. I run the foundation at SUNY Ulster, so you would think that's a really fun job. See, I'm getting upset. Most of the time it's like, hey, you need some funds, we'll help you stay in college. If I told you how many times we had to help a student because I found out they were sleeping in their car, you would be shocked. So I just wanted to say that we can't build that fast enough because it happens all the time. And that's it. Thanks.
Thanks, Ryan. I see my Uncle Mike in the back. Does he have a question? No? No questions. All right. That's not a plant.
Any questions for Pat? Anyone? Okay. Guess we all want to go get ready for the snowstorm. Let's do it.
That was
Once
easy.
again, thank you, Ulster County Executive Pat Ryan. Thank you all for joining us. Join us back here next month, if you would. We've got a great program planned. I already got my green tie for St. Patrick's Day. Hope to see you then. Please support our sponsor. Thank you all. The great job, Herzog's and the Kingston Plaza. And thanks to our corporate sponsors as well. Enjoy the rest of the day. Please be safe. Thank you.